This is Anthony with True Diamond Heart, continuing our video series on sparks of light and love. Not waiting for the jet to pass, because that is a spark of light and love. It brings us exactly and immediately into what it was that was revealed in our last video, that we need to speak about every moment, every instance, every circumstance, every happening, every non-happening is a potential seed, a potential spark of light and love. Now, the jet that passes by it's a spark of darkness and fear and chaos, or it's a spark of light and love. Is it disturbing me? Yes, it disturbed me. Let's be honest. I don't want that to happen. And yet, why don't I want it to happen? Well, I have a bunch of reasons why. I have a very important video to make and so forth, and it's disturbing me and it's polluting, and well, yeah, but then I get on the jet another time, all of a sudden I don't notice the sound at all because I'm the one making the noise, right? It always works that way. It's a divine seed of light because I've decided to take it as something that's illuminating. If it's personally bothering me not to say, okay, it can bother me as it's bothering me, but if it bothers me in a way that I am taking it personally, wow, I'm so bugged like that, with that energy, that is the opportunity for me to see that I'm carrying inside of me a sympathetic resonance of darkness that can be brought to the light, and that's a divine spark of light. Every moment, that horn that just honked, it could be a distraction, or it could be the opportunity for me to see that right now, everything that happens is potentially for my highest good, meaning to wake me up. And now the birds are singing, thank you, I like that, I don't like the other thing, and yet, I like that, I don't like the other thing. Do you see that energy? The energy of acceptance of all. The one thing that I like, and it is teaching me that yes, there is this coming to me of joy and the beauty of nature. And then the thing that disrupted me is the coming to me of the disruption and the darkness that I see resonating inside me, because I don't want to be irritated. And yes, they're all just the awakening process. The awakening of joy and hearing the bird. The awakening of wow, why am I so disrupted by something so minor that I actually enjoy when I'm on the other side of it? It's all just awakening. And awakening is light. Awakening is a spark of light. Everything that happens, the things that seem the darkest and the most painful, come bearing the greatest seeds of light and love. When we are in absolute, think of things like heartbreak, things like death, things like that. Those are two big ones. I mean, these things, now we're not speaking of survival. We're not speaking of not having food for your children. We're speaking of having enough. We're speaking of survival's taken care of. Now, what is it that happens to us after survival is taken care of? After survival is taken care of, everything is a potential spark of light and love. The things that come with the most heaviness. I went through extreme difficulty in the last couple of years. I mean, panic difficulty, self-doubt difficulty, the depths of despair difficulty, not going to make it difficulty. And yet, I had asked for that in my light and stillness. I asked to be brought into and through that which I needed to clean out darkness that I was carrying. And that prayer, because it was sincere and because it was a prayer of light, it was answered. And in the darkness that I went into, I saw what I was carrying. And I didn't blame the outside world. I didn't blame anybody outside me for it. I didn't put responsibility for anywhere but here. I didn't say, you're doing this, and so that's why I'm having this reaction. I didn't say, you're not doing that. It was all as much as I was able to, which was pretty extensive because I had a lot of practice with it, to take responsibility for what's happening in here. As much as things were happening outside of me, I saw that the reactivity and the pain and the darkness was here. And I took responsibility for it. I did my stillness practice, meditated, doubled and tripled my meditation. Took a course that I don't take courses, but I took a course that I don't usually take. I did something. I just continued on the route, knowing that this was a huge spark of light and love dressed in robes of incredible darkness. And instead of rebelling, here's how everything transforms into light and love. Everything. With awareness and surrender. Awareness meaning we actually see it for what it is. And surrender meaning finally we know that it's here. We don't fight it. We don't argue with it. We don't blame it on someone else. We don't sublimate it, push it down. We don't struggle with it. We don't explain it. Finally, we just understand that this is like a storm. It's an energy that will blow itself out in the light of awareness. But it is fed by being pushed down, explained, judged, feared, sublimated, projecting. So we do our work, we continue with our work. We don't know how the light and love will reveal in this darkness that we're working through. And yet we know it will in its time and in some miraculous way that we never expected. It will reveal, guaranteed. Guaranteed. When and how, we don't know. Sparks of light and love. Every interaction you have with yourself. Because every interaction you have outside is simply sparking an internal interaction, because there is no outside. Even on the, let's say all this is material stuff, is, let's take away the esotericism of there being E equals M squared and there's equals MC squared, and there's only one field of energy and one final consciousness that we're all part of. Take out that esoteric part. Where does everything that happens to you, someone calls you a name, where does all that happen? It happens inside of you. Whatever that person does, it comes into you and it is processed here. Everything happens inside of you. So everything is an opportunity for you to become more aware of how your internal processes either move towards light, awakening, or darkened. And if you're moving towards darkened, sleepening, then you're not aware, you're doing the opposite of awareness. You're falling into sleep and you won't notice it at all. You'll simply be too busy explaining, blaming, arguing, projecting, and sublimating. And seeking pleasure and avoiding pain, because that's all you'll have. We are here to reveal the glorious joy of your being, of my being. It's so much bigger than pleasure. It's like, there's a video library of hundreds of videos, well over 100. There might be 100, 200 by now. I don't know. There's a lot of videos on the True Diamond Heart YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Please start browsing. You'll find topics that are germane to your place in the voyage and the journey at this time on your way. Just videos there, your heart speaking to you from someone else's mouth, telling you the rules and the laws that we all have to obey, and how it is that we can open to the divine light and love that we essentially are, and that we are here on Planet School to learn to become and be. Divine sparks of light and love in each and every moment, yes. Each and every experience, yes. Each and everything, thought and feeling. If you start seeing life that way, it will transform into the light and love. Guaranteed. We'll see you soon for more on Divine Sparks of Light and Love.